It's the time you're bird, so don't you know? Like and share, let's make it glow. Flint City News, we bring the heat. When we fight, we beat defeat. I won't give up, I won't stand down. This city's heart will never drown. Together we rise, we've got the power. See, we find the hour. The residents deserve much more. Let's break these chains, open the door. The fight is ours, victory inside. Flint City strong, we'll make it right.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Producer Jay, how you doing? And welcome, everybody. It has been a minute. It's been a minute. So listen, wherever you at, drop it in the comments. Let me know what city you're from. And we gonna do this thing. We are going to do it. So I'm gonna try to do some things with sharing it out so that it goes into the different groups. But do me a favor, we're going to cover some stuff, and we're going to try to make up some time here from the last couple of days because it has, this last 2 weeks have been a lot. And so we are going to cover. So some of the things I said we're going to cover, we're going to talk about court. I've been to court the last, I'm going to say 7 days, 3 times, three. And so it's been a lot going on. So, Producer Jay, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good. We're having some technical difficulties again.
Okay, if y'all can see me and can hear me, put a 1 in the comments.
We can see you.
If you can see and hear me, put a 1. Oh, they can so far. Thank you, Randall McGee. Oh, it's a lot of 1s. Eddie Gray, Beverly Biggs, Sandy Odell. Sandy, I'm sending that to you. My deepest sympathies. Berta, baby, he was cutting up in the comments before we start. Thomas did it, Demetri Brown. Stanley with Alien Superstar, Carolyn Brazil, Lydia McNeely. Hey, y'all. Granny G. Some of these names I get kind of worried when I be saying it because y'all be cutting up. She just said you blurry, but I see you. So
really the connection is really bad.
Okay. So is it really bad? New one, Connie. So okay, so do we want to look if Tania Walker, hey y'all, Meat Freaks Barbecue, Sonia. Listen, and I need to hop on the other. Texas Made. So is it really blurry? If it's blurry, y'all let in the comments and let me know. I guess I'm having internet problems. Okay, a new one says I see you. Stanley, it's great for me, and I'm in the the UP. If it's good for you in the UP. Because I had to hang out the window before Penascola and these towers to get a signal. Okay, they say it's not bad. June Hardeman, okay. Patrick, so Producer Jay, enough with that. We're going to make it through it. If y'all can't see me or it freezes, drop it in the comments. I will try to follow the comments. Hey, Jessica, I will try to follow it. Beverly said it's no good. Dollar Bill, Jessica Stewart. So listen, to my moderators, Sheena Beckton and Patrick Jean. Hey, y'all. And listen, they're going to be watching the comments because I'm not going to probably be able to keep up. And so if it gets bad, Sheena and Patrick, y'all, text me and let me know. Exactly. Hold your phone out the window as high as you can. Listen, I almost fell out the window before trying to do that, Stanley. Okay. Hey, Angie, only in one. Big B. Hey. So listen, we're going to get started. I don't want to see court, but we're going to be seeing a lot more court. A lot more court. And so this week has been a lot. Monday we had, John Cole, and then we had Beverly Biggs, and then we had the preliminary conference today with Kiki. So we're going to take it all the way back. So congratulations. Oh, and then I went last week to have my PPO term. Hey, Vic, how you doing? Hey, Yvette Bailey. Hey, Lorraine Thompson. And y'all charge it to my mind and not my heart if I don't call your name. Hey, Nakia Harris. So we're going to run it all the way back. We're going to run it all the way back. So some of the things that happened. So I did have a PPO on me. Literally, y'all. And look, I forgot to send you this picture, producer JR. Did I send it to you? We're on the PPO. I did not notice at the time on my PPO, Councilman Leon L. Alameen had a PPO against me. And on the PPO, he literally stated, or any of that. Not a single one of those. So that was news to me that I had what?
Sorry to interrupt you, but you dropped out, so they didn't hear anything you said. You dropped off.
Oh God, you know what? I may have to try a different location. I may have to do that.
I got you back on now, but I just added you back.
Oh, it dropped off completely.
Yeah.
Oh my. Okay. Okay.
So repeat that thought, and hopefully they'll get it this time.
Okay. So over this last week, there were three court cases this week and then one last week. So Councilman Leon L. Alameen, who has stated on 9 PPOs, y'all, 9 of them, that he does not live in the first ward. It's Mount Morris Township. He stated on the PPO that I was a known drug user and alcoholic. And I was a known drug user. What was my drug of choice? I was alcohol and cocaine. But I guess he didn't say I was a crackhead. So I guess I should, So can you put that up? Because I don't want people to think, we about putting up the receipts. And so he said I was a known cocaine. Now, anytime you go and just lie on documents, only thing he did was tell his truth about that he lives at 3375. That is what he told the truth about. But I'm an alcoholic and a cocaine user. Cocaine. Come on, Leon, do better. I'm not in your friend circle. Never will be. Not at all. Not at all. Producer Jay, do you have it? Okay, because I want y'all to and leave that up, please. So this is on the PPO. Hey, Dr. Mayor Karen Weaver, El Presidente. She's out in DC doing her thing. She is doing it. So listen. So literally, I had not seen it in the court. So I came to court about 35 minutes early. It was in front of Judge Kari Hannibal, and he heard the case. Leon was represented from his firm, which is Manly. His attorney is Roland Sizemore, and I did not represent I did represent myself, which Judge Hannibal asked me if I wanted to, and I did. And I spoke to my attorney, and I don't know if he on here, because y'all know if I don't say alleged with some stuff, He's like, yeah, I need you to be saying alleged, but this is the truth right here. So I didn't see this. When it asks, are they a known drug abuser? And he checked the box, yes. And then wrote alcohol and cocaine. This guy is the biggest liar, misteller, pathological, chronic, habitual. He's a habitual liar. And well, he write lollipop eyes. I think I did that in kindergarten as he spelled cocaine. He literally said, I'm on alcohol and cocaine. My attorney found that to be interesting. There's some things that he said that we're going to be doing. What I'm not is I've never been a cocaine or drug abuser or of alcohol. I am an adult. I don't have any DUIs or OUIs, operating under the influence or driving under the influence. I don't even have it in the public intoxication. I have none of that. None of that. And so people need to understand that this speaks to his character. This speaks to his integrity or lack thereof. And you have got 5 people on that council supporting him with this. 5 people are supporting him with saying, I'm an alcohol and cocaine abuser and other things. So, I put the truth out there. So this guy, so he got the PPO, the judge, he sent it to the wrong address. He knows where I live. He knows because, he has a relative on the same street, which I did not know since 2021. 2021. He's been stalking me. 2021, y'all. I wasn't even elected then. I was not even elected. Not even elected. So, yes, I have turned this over to the authorities because I'm not going to play with him in this garbage. I'm just not going to do it. Something is wrong with him anytime somebody goes through and do this. And then also, he and many of you seen on my page, he had pictures of my mother's house. Literally, and put, this is Tanya's mother's house. This guy is dangerous, in my opinion. I mean, literally, why are you at my mother's house? Why? That's dangerous. And not just that, on top of that, he was at my son's father's house at 5:40 a.m. taking pictures. We got out. You can see in the little corner, the headlight. You can see this. So, and he's been by other people's homes too, just so they know. And I have informed them. So he is not a victim. He goes and lies on court documents, certified and true. So drug addiction is something that's serious, and he shouldn't play about it. Drug and alcohol, and he should not play about it. He is an embarrassment to be on city council. He does not reside. According to him, he lives at the address in Mount Morris Township. And it was a total of 9 personal protection orders that he's filled out, which he's abusing the system. He's learned how to abuse it and use it to his advantage and use it as a weapon against other people. This is what he's doing. And he's sitting up there as if he's doing the work, is what his little statement is. You're not doing the work, or it depends on what type of work. We know you're doing some lying work on here. We know that the only thing you told true was your address, is Kiki Martin attested to under sworn statement underneath the penalty of perjury that you live in Mount Morris and always has. So let's move on from that. Thank you, Producer Jay. So y'all listen, we ain't been on in a minute, and Producer Jay gonna have to roll with me. So look, y'all, yeah. Please donate to, which this irritates Liddell because she literally said it at the conference. I stream stuff. She does a podcast. We in Grand Rapids, and she worried about my podcast. So if you at some point, please donate kindly to Producer J, $ Cash App, Producer J 1987. It is at the bottom scroll because I'm gonna need him to roll with me today. So because I'm gonna get it all out. So let's put the M Live article. Producer J, what's up?
Only people that complains about your podcast that once had a podcast that failed in the first week.
Yeah, we didn't even call it the pocket. That was like a puh. It wasn't even a pod. It was a puh.
That had six people watching.
So, let's put up this first one because everyone wants to know. He's showing up to council on tether, which is an embarrassment. I bet he didn't. He's not so happy how court went today. I'm guaranteed. I'm guaranteed because we have had domestic violence is serious and it's dangerous. And if you need help, you need to get out. We're gonna put up the hotline throughout. So after this, Producer Jay, if you can put up the hotline numbers on the purple, love is not abusive. So on here, can you make it bigger? Yeah, look, I got my nails done because they was ratchet. I had like 3 Band-Aids before I went because they were breaking. So it says alleged police officer testified and Flint councilman, alleged victim, police officer testified and Flint councilman felony assault and domestic violence preliminary. So here's the thing. The police don't have no skin in the game. They do not. They don't have any skin. This article is, this one was by Jake Wade, then Ron Funger wrote an article too. Ron Funger was there, TV5, I don't know if 12 was there, but the news was there in the press box or jury box. And I did not know there were 2 officers that were there. And you had, was it 2 or 3 prosecutors, and they had victim witnesses. And so for weeks, for 2 months, she's been hanging out there. And Kiki basically trying to put her life together as she's being told, you know, he's innocent, he's doing the work. And she just had to have faith in God that God was going to carry her and keep her safe, to keep her safe. And so he never spoke. He didn't get on the stand. So she got on the stand and they asked her the questions, and they're going through the questions about what happened. And she says he choked me with his right arm. He tried to, he was hitting me with his left hand and trying to get my phone. He dragged me by my hair. He pulled me up out the chair by my shirt. He like threw me into the wall. Then she said he drug her on the floor. I believe he said on the stomach. And she said she had to throw her phone, and then she went into the bathroom and she was able to get his city phone, which, by the way, y'all remember the lie he told, because this guy is a liar. He told everybody that, you know, she had my phone. She had a day ago. I just got it back a day ago. I just got it back 3 days ago. Just got it back a week ago. On record, I asked the city clerk, and she says, no, you gave it the phone back in July. Because I did. I gave it back. Because one thing I knew, because we see how he moved, is that I didn't want her to think, thank you, Berta baby. Didn't want her to feel, you know, because she was, sometimes when you're violence, you are a victim of domestic violence, you can't stay in your home. You may not have relatives to go to, and you may have to go out the county. And she had to go way out the county, way. And so I told her, I said, well, look, give me the phone. I'll give it to the city clerk or city attorney. I called the city attorney's secretary, and I called the city clerk. Then he said, I went through his phone and tampered with it. Y'all, this dude lies. This person, Leon, lies so much. I never tampered through his phone. I got 3 phones. I don't want one more phone to answer. Not one more, because I don't have enough time. My phone rings 7 days a week. If you call, if I can help you, I'm gonna help you. This guy is a liar. I didn't tamper with his phone. He didn't just get his phone the day before. What happened was he left his phone when the clerk called and said, I have your phone. He let First Ward residents know at that point what he thought about them. He didn't come get the phone for 2 months. 2 months. 2 months. He did not come get the phone. So now he's saying I'm a cocaine abuser. Now he's saying I stole the phone and I tampered with the phone. Did not. This guy just continuously just lies. There's some other ones like I'm hearing I planned this with Kiki. Do you think she planned for you to beat her butt, to jump on her, to assault her, to drag her? I don't think so. I don't think so. I've shown where she first contacted me by two very strange emails, and they weren't from her. And she needed some help, and I helped her. So in the article, because I'm gonna read it to you, all of you, because I don't want these. And this article was by Ron Funger, and I don't want, because I want everybody to know. And this is serious. We just had a young lady last week. Princess Williams was killed by domestic violence. She was killed by domestic violence, and she had tried to get away from him. Ron Funger's article stated, alleged victim says Flint councilman choked and dragged her by the hair during the assault. Flint City Councilman Leon L. Alameen dragged his on again and off again girlfriend by her hair and choked her inside the home they shared in Mount Morris Township. His alleged victim testified on Tuesday, September 23rd, in Genesee County District Court in Flint. El Alameen was bound over to face trial on felony assault on domestic violence charges in Genesee Circuit Court by Judge Vicky Bayhill Haley during a preliminary examination. Defense attorney Roland Sizemore cross-examines the alleged victim during a preliminary examination for Flint City Councilman Leon Alameen on Tuesday, 23rd, and Genesee County Court District. El Alameen was bound over to face trial by felony assault and domestic violence charges. Why is this repeating itself in this? The first ward councilman sat quietly near his attorney during the hearing, which lasted less than an hour, and featured limited testimony from his alleged victim and a police officer, and that would be a Mount Morris police officer. Mount Morris. Limited testimony of a Mount Morris police officer who responded to her 911 call on July 10, 2025. Prosecutors have said police found the woman with facial lacerations and marks on her neck after they responded to the 911 call she made from inside a locked bathroom in a home on West Sherman Avenue in Mount Morris Township. The woman said El Alameen became enraged after finding her in a bedroom office in the home making copies of emails. The Flint Journal does not typically identify victims of domestic violence. That's a disclaimer. El Alameen's alleged victim has said in an affidavit that she and El Alameen are the parents of a child together and lived in the home for more than a year before the alleged July 10th assault. She said Tuesday the councilman was angry and aggressive, yelling and cussing at me before he yanked me out the chair she was sitting in and then threw her by grabbing a hold of her shirt. She said El Alameen choked her with his forearm, dragged her by her hair, called her derogatory names, and we groan on here. If your child cover up his ears, he called her bitches and hoes. I played that video tape before. Threatened to beat her further while demanding that she give him her phone. The woman testified she threw her phone away, but picked up another cell phone issued by the city to El Alameen before locking herself in a bathroom and calling for help. She said that she heard El Alameen call someone while she was locked in the bathroom, saying, "Help me drag this bitch out of this house," before he left the home. Genesee County Prosecutor David Layton said El Alameen wasn't at home when police arrived on the day of the alleged assault. Mount Morris Township Police Officer Charles McCain, who responded to the incident, said, I told Judge Bayhill Haley, he helped the woman file a written police statement because she was unable to complete it. He said she was shaking she was shaking too much, and there were several officers there on that scene. He says she was shaking when she was filling them out, recalled McCain, who said he observed a laceration on the alleged victim's nose on the day he responded to the call. Attorney Roland Sizemore, El-Amin's attorney, briefly questioned the witnesses on Tuesday, spending most of the time questioning details in the alleged victim's testimony and other documents related to the case, including a police report. So it came back around with the police report that I think he was trying, in my opinion, trying to question like her recollection. But what happened was the police had to help her fill it out. So of course it's going to, I'm not going to say, there's going to be something different. And her testimony actually proved it. And that was just not good for the defense, because it showed when they said that she was shaking so much she could not, because they had some questions about, did she put this on here? Well, you had other officers, and many officers were helping her because she was, one, beat up, assaulted, and traumatized at the time. The woman said she never lost consciousness during the assault, in which she said he punched her on the back and side of her head, but never her face. Now, I'm going to tell you this because I'm not going to say alleged, but I felt when I was in the emergency in the room with her, I went with her and her mother, and I put my hands through because her head was hurting so bad. And she kept complaining to the physician, to the doctor, that her head was hurting. And you could feel like raises in her scalp, bumps. You could feel them. And then she did have other visible, as the officer said, lacerations, bruises. But he stated he had saw blood. He stated that the officer said he had saw blood. She never lost consciousness, which she said the woman said she never lost consciousness during the assault, in which she said he punched her on the back and the side of her head, but never in her face. She said a police report indicating she told police El-Amin punched her in the face was incorrect. El-Amin, 45, is free on bond and required to wear a tether while awaiting a trial. After not attending council meetings for more than 6 weeks after his arrest, El-Amin resumed attending meetings earlier this month. He has claimed that he is innocent of all charges against him and doesn't intend to resign from his council position. The charges, Judge Haley bound El-Amin over are felony assault with intent to do great bodily harm, less than murder, and a misdemeanor domestic violence charge. In addition to the penalties associated with those charges, El-Amin faces potential loss of its council seat if he's convicted of a felony. Flint City Charter says council seats shall be forfeited for charter violations if a member lacks qualifications or is convicted of a felony while holding office. Now, Davina should be right here. He lacks qualification. He lived in Mount Morris Township. How he voting on, how is he voting on Flint items and his address is not in Flint? It's not in Flint. So I asked my attorneys, so what happens if he's voting on items in the city attorney, and the city is well aware he does not reside, because she sent an affidavit to the city clerk. It's on record in the courts. He's had his address. He's kept his address, as they found at 9 PPOs, have all been 3-3. The address that's in Mount Morris. The one that he put on my PPO, where he said I was on alcohol and a known abuse of alcohol and cocaine. So qualified for the office, one, you must live in Flint. You must live in Flint. And so we know that he does not. So it was tough to watch. He did not get on the stand. Kiki had supporters, and we asked that through this process that all of you support her. If you're able to come, we will put up when her next court date is. We don't know when it is. She needs support. She needs support. Her mother was there. You had Beverly there. You had Mary there. You had Miss Claire. Miss Claire is a trooper, ball. You had Carol McIntosh there. You had Beverly's sister there. You had James the Whisperer. Y'all know James. You had Arthur Woodson there. You had, I don't know if I'm missing anybody, but, and she had some advocates and some other people. And Miss, oh gosh, I forgot her name. I think it's her name, Carolyn. She had a purple scarf on her purse. Such a classy lady. And she showed up to support Kiki. She said, I went and bought a purple scarf because I wanted to support the young lady. And she showed up. Christopher Sims, James spoke truth. Yes. Sheena B, was her dad there? No, her father was not there. Her father was not there. Her mother was there. Her mother was there. And her father was not there in attendance in the court today. So for the people, I said Mary was there. Debbie and Diane, I missed y'all because y'all don't miss anything. And so she's got a long process. And no matter what, this is serious because there are children involved and these are lives. Princess William was killed last week. She was killed by domestic violence. She was killed, and it's serious. So we're going to go on to the next. So one of the things, the article with this residency, people was asking about, and as you just said in the charter state, I read it about being qualified. Thank you. So love is abusive. Love is not abusive. If you need help, you can call 1-800-799. Yeah, thank you for making it bigger. 7234. That is the hotline. That's 24/7, 365. If you are trying to plan to get out, if you need help getting out, love is not abusive. You can call the Greater Flint YWCA at 810-238-7233 or the Michigan Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-866-864-2338, or you can call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 800-799-7234. You can call any of those numbers if you need help. If you are a victim and you want a plan to get out or need help to get out, call those numbers. Call those numbers. It's different when we can look back to say, people, the young lady, Princess, she wasn't able to get out. She wasn't. So we're going to go on to the residency with him. So the residency issue came up. There was an article about that, that the city clerk received a letter from the state of Michigan. Says the state won't investigate residency claims against the Flint councilman. And so the Michigan Department of State won't investigate claims that the city council member doesn't live in the area he represents, saying the decision to challenge his residency results with city clerk Davina Donahue. Davina has a responsibility to do her job with this. This guy is wreaking havoc. This person is making people's lives difficult. He is voting on an entire ward and does not live there. Does not live there. Stanley Wood did his research and he had put it up on his page that there was someone else who lives there. And I don't want to put hers up, but she's registered there. She has to. She's registered to that address. He can't live there if she's living there. And the Michigan Department of Correction, he doesn't live there. He doesn't. So we need Davina write letters to the city clerk asking her to make sure that First Ward residents are supported by a First Ward resident. He shouldn't have been in this election. We got affidavit, and these are things he filled out himself. When he busy trying to say I'm an alcoholic and a cokehead, he putting down his real address, not realizing it. So send letters to the city clerk and call her and ask her, we need you to follow through with what the state elections board. The state said you have to challenge his address. So call Davina, the city clerk Davina Donahue. Because at this point, people are tired. They're sitting up there voting, and he voted on that. He brought up two resolutions. One was the George Floyd one, and then the second one was the, what do you call it? The one that they lied and said they talked to Chief Green about. I mean, these folks lie together. Lie together. And so anyway, about making up a task force and loitering was his issue, which we already have those on the books. So why would we duplicate and be redundant? We wouldn't. We would not. Chief Green said he ain't talked to none of them about it. He said, and NSOs ain't even a job to do this. I mean, so they you can't make this up. Anyways, he has no business voting in the first ward. Residents can sue. You can sue the city if you want to, because he should not be making any votes or casting decisions that affect the people that live in Flint. And that was with my attorneys who are knowledgeable. He has no business making any decisions, and he can be sued. And the city don't need not one more lawsuit. We can't, all the lawsuits we got are just ridiculous. So residents, you can sue. And it doesn't have to be a first ward resident. It can be any resident, because that all of the votes comprised, we need 5. Any Flint resident can sue the city for this. I mean, this guy's literally, he's stating on your own documents, you don't live there. He put it on his own documents. I never seen nothing like that. Never. So that's some food for thought.
I got a question.
Which question?
Has there, and this is hot off the press. I mean, I'm gonna see if you're gonna answer it. Has there been any discussion of the 4 about filing any litigation regarding that?
Which 4? Our 4?
Your 4, yeah.
I can't talk about that on here.
Okay.
I talked to
the audience some info. Yeah. So, but I know that. I just see if you would.
Yeah. I mean, my attorney, who's probably watching tonight, has said everyone should sue. I'm just telling you, and he should sue, because and Angie made the statement that oh God, what was her saying? Because it went off my screen. That his decision, his vote affects the entire city. Absolutely, absolutely. His vote affects the entire city. So it could be anybody in the city of Flint, because he's sitting there, I'm doing the work, sending up resolutions. George Floyd brutality. You really want to do a George Floyd brutality when you have a whole felony and a misdemeanor? I mean, Angie, how much would he charge? I will ask him. I see, and this is something everybody should pull together. This is something that the city of Flint should pull together so that we can stop this nonsense. So can you put that up there? Angie's put how much does he charge? And everybody should pull together, because his decision affects everything. We can't find out. You know how many times I've asked how much is in ARPA? And I'm going to show y'all what I got. But I asked about the opioids. They send these half documents back, which even in this one that I got back, it didn't have everything. This is the opioid. Okay, what's the date that it was given? They did not. It's things that are not on here. I want the transaction number. You know, this is, they have sent stuff. So guess what? I got to go back and send it back. I don't know how much I didn't ask for. I didn't ask for so much stuff, and you just don't get it. This is not what I'm asking for. But as long as we have 5 votes, we cannot get nothing done for you. We need that vote. His vote is not, I mean, we don't have, as long as they have 5 votes, let me correct myself. As long as they have 5 votes, we need, and they're content with what they're doing. We need to make the playing field fair. Someone who lives there, Carol lived there and still lives there. She lived in the first ward since kindergarten, or was it pre-K? And so you have someone who was sitting in the seat and shouldn't. They know that he does not live there. People have turned it in. And so I will check to see, but this is something that residents should come together for. And so this is so everything. So you want to know how much do we have in ARPA? Well, we don't have 5 votes to bring them up for a hearing. They're not going to bring up for a hearing to find out. They're not. You want to know how much in opioid? I asked for a detailed list amount. I wanted the date. I mean, you know, what is the 30%? And so on this with the opioids, it came to, and I did add it up while I was there. And so they have spent $1,358,368.10. That's how much that they've spent. And so I've asked, you know, I want the resolutions. I want to know the date, you know. And so with them having 5, but this is where the community is going to have, and I get you tired. I get you don't want to go any further. I get Flint is overwhelming. I get that, you know, Flint is like a utopia of stuff that couldn't go wrong. But let's talk about what went right this week. Beverly got her PPO overturned, terminated, removed from her record. I got mine terminated. Kiki is going to get some justice moving forward. We have got some things that have, John Cole, and I'm going to give it to Judge Hannibal. Judge Hannibal was giving him, we're going to get into that next, 12, we end up at 40 to 45, 20 minimum to 40, 45. And so I want to say that sometimes we may not want to press forward, but Flint is at a crucial time where we can't afford to not push forward and push together. We can't afford it. I know you don't want to get put out of council. I know that you don't like their tone. And it was funny because in the civility meeting, it was about tone. But what we need is not a torch or one thing that one person can carry. We need everybody to step up. We need everybody to be calling on Davina. We need everybody to call the city attorney. That's her job too. She shouldn't be allowing him to sit there knowing he don't live there making decisions. They made $1 million decisions yesterday. Okay. Yesterday. That I wouldn't have voted on. I wouldn't have. But they had 5 votes, and his vote is one of those 5 votes. I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have. And I'm quite sure that Jonathan, Dennis, and Jerry Winfrey Carter wouldn't have either. But because he's their 5th vote, he voting on stuff, and he don't live here. He don't live here. And so we have to look at it in that aspect. But let's move on. So I want to put up to the young lady, can you put up Portia Williams? And so it was Dink Sosa. Portia Williams, this is the beautiful soul who was, her life was taken by domestic violence. This was Dink Sosa. Dink Sosa owns the Roadhouse Vibes and coming soon, Level Up Sports Bar downtown on the Bricks. So Level Up Sports Bar on the Bricks. He owns 3 venues. So he said, I send my deepest condolences to Princess Williams' entire family and friends. May God give everyone strength. She was such a beautiful soul, gone too soon. May God cover the babies, her babies. Princess worked, she was a waitress at Roadhouse. She was a waitress. He frequently attacked her and beat her. She was scared. She didn't know how to get out, where to go to, who could help her. And so the day before he killed her and himself, he had taken her to the park and told her he was going to kill her there, or I'm going to kill you at home. He told her either way, he's going to kill her. And he did exactly what he said. She lived in the 3rd ward in those apartments, public housing off of Carpenter Road. There was a standoff for 8 to 10 hours. And he killed her. She leaves behind, I believe, 3 children, and her youngest is a 2-month-old baby. A 2-month-old baby. She worked so hard, and it was after 2 or 3 weeks she came back to work because she wanted to provide for her family. That's what she wanted to do. And he took her life because of domestic violence. So domestic violence is serious. A lot of times people don't have a support system. They don't have someone who's going to say, I'm going to help you. They don't have people who show up for you. You don't have people. Kiki has got people showing up for her. Her mother is showing up for her. Her mother shows up at counseling. Kiki got people that are saying, we're not going to let this happen. I wish Princess had gotten some help. I wish she had gotten some help. She was too young to die, and that's a tragic death. It's a tragic one. So don't let domestic violence, if you know someone, help them. Call those hotlines. Love is not abusive. It's not abusive. Get them the help. Don't stop talking to them. Because once they isolate you, they'll affect you financially, mentally, physically, and spiritually. They will. Get some help. Get some help. Reach out to those numbers. So love is not abusive. The national number is 1-800-799-7234. That is the national hotline. It's open 24/7, 365. 365. So listen, y'all, don't forget down at the call, if you could donate to producer J, 1987 Cash App is down at the bottom of the scroll. And so when we look at these, this stuff triggers me. These are young women, my daughter's age, who are fighting for their lives, and Princess lost hers. She lost hers. She didn't get the help. People knew, but it's hard because sometimes they keep going back. How do you pull somebody out? Sometimes you can get to them and say, look, I just need you to start calling. And they can start, the advocates can start, and the counselors can start helping them prepare to get out. But if you have someone in a domestic violence situation, help get them out. Help get them out. I remember talking to, I was on the phone. I know she's still on here. I don't think she minded me sharing this story. It was Mayor Karen Weaver, and one of her relatives was on their way, and she got the call. I'll tell you, we were going to Zoom. I don't remember. And her husband, she had left him, was divorcing him, got a personal protection order, or he was supposed to get it served. Hold on a second. Look, thank you. I'm Miss Cynthia Morgan Jarrett. Or should I? And Papa said he got $1,000 for Stanley Wood's defense fund against Leon. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Papa. Thank you, Miss Cynthia. Thank y'all. So Stanley, if you don't have Papa's number, I'm gonna send it to you. We're gonna get this worked out. But where was I at? Because we got to start sticking together. If you help them don't let them stay in. Help them get a plan. Reach out to them. And if you have to reach out to me, I will connect you. Kiki reached out to me. I had never had a conversation with her in my entire life. Never. And there were people and women who helped her. But when Mayor Weaver, Dr. Weaver, Dr. Karen Weaver, because there's two Dr. Weavers, when she said he had shot her, and it was on the news, he had told her the same thing. You know, he was going to kill her, not kill the baby that they had with the two other children. He killed her two children with a prior marriage, took their, I believe, 1 or 2 year old baby to his mother's and killed her. They did a manhunt for him, and then he killed himself. So I want to say, don't let them stay. Personal protection orders are why it's so easy to get, because sometimes you may not have but the pants and the shirt on your back. They make it easy to get so that you can be protected. Don't let them stay, because staying sometimes, if they say I'm ready, don't wait for the U-Haul, the moving truck, get out, start making a plan, but don't stay. You are smarter. You are beautiful. You are intelligent. All the things that they tell you you aren't, or that you are the things that they see in you. When they tell you you ugly, it's the beauty they see in you. When they tell you you dumb, it's because they know that you're smart. When they tell you you stupid, it's because they see your brilliance. Don't let them steal that from you. Get the courage. And if you got a family member, don't let your family member. Do not. Please don't. Please don't. Kiki's story is triggering a lot of people. And it's triggering people with their true stories. Some have been suppressed, and some of them are just sharing for the first time. I can't tell you how many stories I've listened to. But don't stay. So one of the things that we learned, and I put up on there, some of these people, and we have to believe them. When Dr. Maya Angelou said, when people show you who they are, believe them. Y'all pray for Princess Williams' family and her children that she left behind. Pray for her. Keep her in your prayers, and keep her family, her children. And we have to, and I hope that I'm able to make this a conversation that people don't talk about. And Stanley, I want to tell you, thank you for wearing your purple shirt all the time. Stanley rises to the occasion. We need the men in there. Sean Hart made a post about domestic violence. He's with Involved Dads, and I appreciate him standing up and stepping out and taking leadership in a male role to say, this is a problem. We need to fix it. Stop it. If you don't love somebody, don't like them, leave them. Leave them. You don't like them, leave them. You got to beat on them. So we're going to move on. So something else that I found out, which was interesting. So we're going to move on along, because Councilman Leon Alameen is a pretty clever guy. So can you put the picture of him? He been in my mama's house, y'all. He been riding by taking pictures. I'm like, this guy is not just my mom and my son's father's house. Now he's retired from the Flint Police Department. I done told y'all, which I would not do if I was him. So can you put the pictures up? Can you please, and thank you, sir. And so I had to literally tell my mother that Leon L. Alameen, councilman of the First Ward, had been taking pictures and riding by her house. So that's just her mailbox. And this is his text. Tanya Burns mama's house. And he sent this out to people. Who all he sent this out to? He sent it out to people. What does my mother have to do with this? With you? I don't even deal with you. And so when we look at this guy's character, because this is gonna lead to something, because Kiki mama gave some testament. Not just that, he rode to the house in Flushing where my son lives with his father. We co-parent. I will arrive at blank Flushing around 5:40 a.m. I'll let you know if I'm running late. Who the hell is you sending this to? You can run up over there if you want to. He's retired from the police department. He ain't gonna play with you. And he's a marksman. And so is the one across the street, retired from the Flint Police Department. I believe he was a sergeant. And the police chief lives on the corner of Montrose. You can go there if you want to. 5:40 a.m. This is what Councilman Lee L. Alameen is doing. He riding by and he got out the car. I don't know if you can see, he got out the car. Can you scroll the picture up, or because you can see the headlight? It looked like he got out the car because the right headlight was in the photo. It was in the photo. And so I mean, this guy. So
that's all of it. That's all of the. There's no headlight in that one.
Oh, okay, it's got a head. Okay, I'm sorry. Then that one was cropped too much. So the one got a headlight in there, and Sheena be messed with you if you want to. I listen. He was a marksman. He's not gonna play with him. Very well respected by many people. And you can run out there if you want to. You know, and as you heard Liddell say, "Oh, you live in Flush." No, I don't live there. I lived the college house. Leon, you put up my house more than enough times in 2021 because you had on your computer my house. I wasn't even elected. So from 2021, you know where I live. Don't play. But the FBI know. I'm not going to play with you. I could care less. You know, my mother's house. And maybe I should get outraged like Liddell. My son lives. Yes, my son lives in this house. And he goes back and forth. We co-parent. Now I need her to have this outrage. Yes, I did, Angie. I did report this to the judge. Yes, to the judge, to the prosecutor. I absolutely did. Absolutely. And to the FBI. Absolutely did. I most certainly did. And I even did it to Chief Green. I sure did. He couldn't believe it. He was like, "You got to be kidding." No, I'm not kidding you. This is so my mother, this is Tanya mama house. Okay, I can get it where he maybe, but 5:40 a.m. This is what you're doing? Who you sending this picture to? And they track, well, we're gonna get into what all the FBI capabilities is. But this guy is sick. Something is wrong with him. Something is wrong. Now, another time, because Ken and Mr. Patrick did say they seen him ride up the street one time in a black car, backed up down the street so they couldn't get the license, y'all. They said they saw him. So this is what it, roll up over there if you want to. I would not advise that. And so 5:40 a.m. He's out taking pictures. He's taking pictures of my mother's house. This guy is dangerous. He's dangerous. And I'm not making light of it, but I think we have to know what we're dealing with. One, he puts on papers he doesn't live in Flint. Two, no one should be what Daquisha Martin has went through. Her story, what she went through. Two, he don't live in Flint. Three, he riding around everybody's house and recording everybody's and sending it off to people. He also put my house on, he sent a little watch on the message. One of them little text messages that was on the iWatch. He put it on there too. He put it on there. and my location or whatever. Liddell, because you can tell, but he look, Liddell, I know you watching because you watch. Quit giving him advice because you screwing him up. I mean, it's about as bad as Liddell, you wearing them hunting pants, hunting leggings in there, knowing that they call you a moose. And she wore some hunting leggings, some camouflage leggings. She needs to stop giving him advice because it's just terrible. So she took, was it my June something second show or one of, and said, this was his phone. And when Leon kept saying, she stole my phone. She stole my phone. I think I had a red shirt or a coral shirt on or whatever. And he took this around and said, that's my phone in there. You are a damn lie. That was my phone. We don't even have the same phone, fool. Your phone was in the outer box. Did not tamper. I'm not going through your stuff. That's not what my assignment is. God didn't give me that assignment. You being revealed all on your own. It was not his phone. It was mine, which he told people. She had my phone. Didn't even have it at that point. When I had it, I took it right to the clerk, to the city clerk. And she said she put it in her drawer. And for over 2 months, he would not come pick up his phone. So his first ward constituents were not important because he left that phone in there for 2 months. The phone I showed, and I told the young lady, Tanaya, I said, take a picture of my phone. And then I showed her because he told her, this is the picture of my phone. Everything with him leads with a lie. I said, take a picture of it. You'll be able to see. And you can match it up. She was like, he told me that you had his phone. I said, he lied. And then I put it on the record at that council meeting and let the clerk state, no, for 2 months, he knew where his phone was at. He's a habitual liar. I ain't had his phone. I don't smoke. Oh, I don't even smoke. I don't use cocaine. I'm not an alcohol abuser or a known alcohol abuser. Sure isn't. Not at all. Defamation of character, slander. So I was more disturbed because Ken can take care of himself, but my mother has had 4 strokes. Put that back up there for me, her house. And for him to do that, really, because then it gets to be very dangerous for people's families. You know, the nieces, the nephews, the uncles. You know, you what are you doing? Tie your mama home. Then another one, just know the streets where she live. Know the streets for what? So yes, I told all of the authorities, and including the sheriff. Sure did. All of them. Every single one. And so to put this on there, this guy is dangerous. But let's go to the timestamp. And I'm going to tell you why. When he's seeking out people's homes. And so let's go to the Flint City Council meeting at the time, 3 hours, 58 minutes and 15 seconds. Y'all, while y'all at it, please drop in the where you're from. And Producer Jay, I don't know if he just doing this thing probably behind the scene. But look, you can also donate to Producer Jay 1987. Producer Jay 1987. Cash App, because I could not do this without him. It's too much material, and I want to make sure everything I say is factual. And I do want to tell this. Kiki says she wanted to tell everyone. She was really emotional after court, but she wanted everyone to know that if you supported her, those who supported her, that she was thankful. So if you was in that courtroom and you supported her online, she wanted everybody to know that she's thankful. She's thankful. And she appreciates the support. So, Producer Jay, did you find it yet? Never in my life did I ever think. Okay. So this lady right here is Kiki Martin. She says her name, Martin's mom. Her mom has been very vocal. Her mom is attending meetings, and her mother has been speaking out. Her mother is saying she's fighting for her daughter's life. And so let's play her mother's what she had to say. Please and thank you.
The final speaker for this meeting is Ms. Jackson.
Good evening. My name is Janae Jackson. I am Kiki's mother. I want to say my heart goes out to the young lady who got killed in domestic violence. That could have been my daughter. That could have been my baby. At the hands of Wayne Leon Wilson. Council, wake up. Wake up. Y'all seen him when he came down for the Muslim lady. Y'all heard the recordings. Y'all seen a video of him with the Draco. I've been waiting on you to come to my house with the drill. This is not New Jack City. And that demon from hell right there, he's not even Nino Brown. Wayne Leon Wilson. Let's get dirty now. When you shot up Kiki House 2014 down in Rolling Woods, you and Dwayne Robertson. Silver Impala, y'all killed the Chihuahua next door. 2018, 23, Father's Day, 10/21, when you called me saying you didn't put your hands on Kiki, when you pulled the gun out on her. February the 17th, 2023, when your son and my other grandson was wrestling, and your son got a mark on him and you punched him. Y'all talking about safe? We got a demon right here sitting on the board. He can't even look at me. And then you want to turn around and get photos of my kids, showing them to people? Baby, your hands is full because you got me now. And for you to tell people, be your eyes and ears, you better watch your back, baby. Because I mean that on everything. My kids are my everything. I don't know nothing about none of y'all, but my kids are everything. And that means going to hell, jail, prison. I would do that. Now, Leon, you can keep your raggedy up there, being who you are. And by the way, why don't you get a job? SSI, you up here getting this grant money from everybody. Talking about you a single dad, having my daughter live with your butt since 2014. Like I said, this ain't New Jack City. You ain't Nino Brown. You a demon from hell. And you gonna deal with me, baby.
All right, Madam Chair, is there?
That was Kiki Mama. Y'all heard Miss Jackson. And she's serious about that. I'm quite sure she feels. Now, there were some things. So she said a 2014, they did a drive-by on Kiki's house. He pulled out a gun on her, according to her mother. It's alleged drive-by, alleged gun pulling out. Those were her words. She fighting for her child's life. She fighting for her other children. I don't know about a lot of what she said, I was just now hearing. And I know Miss Jackson probably on here because she said she gonna fight for hers. That's her child. It's her grandchildren. She don't want her grandchildren to grow up without their mother. Domestic violence is serious. Miss Jackson is brave. She's speaking in a room that her daughter is afraid to enter. She's speaking for her daughter who was fighting for her life. in the court system now. She's speaking up, letting people know domestic violence should not be happening. Man, we need y'all to come forward much more. It should be men at that podium, lectern, saying we're not going to have it. You're not going to be on here beating on women. You're not going to, and you can't say you don't know a sworn testimony. The officer said she had bruises. The officer, he don't have a dog in the fight. He said there was blood. Pastors, where y'all at? When we talk about people talk about Flint, we need Flint to stand up and stand together. I appreciate the pastors when they showed up for St. Mark, but show up for Kiki. Show up for Kiki so that her mother don't have to call one of the pastors to preach at her funeral, to funeralize her. Show up for her while she lived so another woman doesn't die. So another woman isn't a victim of domestic violence. Princess, I think her name was Shauna, who the guy took the belt, we washed it and choked her out and then dismembered her and cut her body up, put it in the bathtub and put it and left it in King's Lane, and then was with another woman. And you women who think that they're going to treat you better, they're going to do the same to you. The treatment is no better. The lady who thought that she was going to be with the guy, Tony Roy, they thought that she was going to be with him while the wife laid in the bathtub, dismembered and choked with the belt. When the police got up behind him and her out having a good time, he pulled the gun out to her head and the Michigan State Police shot him. Do you want to trade places with someone who's an abuser? Tony Roy's situation. The young lady's his wife, he was married to her. She said, I didn't know, he didn't tell me everything. Because they keep you just as she become isolated. She was in the dark. I want them pastors to show up like they showed up for St. Mark, to show up for the city. If you want change in the city, you got to get involved, get engaged. How many of y'all have called Kiki? She on Facebook. How many of y'all have said, hey, let me cash app you some money? This girl fighting for her life. She fighting for her life. It's a time that we can say, I did all I could do and not stand idly by to allow this to happen. This guy don't even own by he said he lived in Mount Morris Township. Y'all want to get money from us. Everybody want to get theirs and be gone. His money could be going to one of the churches or to another organization. He taking money and sending it to places that he shouldn't even have a vote. He needs to be sued. Miss Jackson, keep showing up and speaking out for your baby. That's what mothers do. Mothers and fathers. I can tell you this. I went through something. My daddies was there in court with me every single day. Every single day. Seeing Leon on that council, it triggers me. It triggers me. He's riding by my mother's house. He's riding by where my son and his father live. Anybody this Tanya mama house. Oh, this got a few pictures of it. This guy is dangerous. He put on there, what was it, the so-called victim, which should be a violation of his PPO that he put out there on his page. That's harassing her. Call her the so-called victim, posting about her. He's supposed to be posting about Kiki. Leon's not supposed to be. It's not. He sent out the day he got out 4 people her location. Big time, Mayor Neely is what he called him. That was in the text. He sent Tim, the girl Tiara, and he sent Liddell Lewis. He then also came to the house, sent somebody to the house, or came to the house on 2 occasions. That's 6. He put up a post about her, as the so-called victim, taunting her and saying stuff. That's 7 times. She has what they call an ERPO, extreme protection, extreme personal protection order. That's a violation. Do the laws not apply to him? As he has learned how to abuse the system? The system is there to protect the people who need it. He's abusing the system to protect himself and his schemes. Keep Kiki in your prayers and the people who are going through domestic violence, because it's real. I remember talking to Mayor Weaver, and she's telling me the graphic part. They was going to get her. Her daddy was on his way to pick her up in St. Louis, and he killed her. He killed her. He killed her. And killed her 2 children. One thing we don't talk about, and as a Black woman, it's frequent we don't talk about, and I'm speaking from my experience as a Black person, a Black woman. We don't talk about some things like domestic violence. It's not okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. Help save your family and friends. Don't let them stay. Don't let them stay. So let's go on. John Cole. John Cole is the criminal sexual deviant predator. I said criminal sexual deviant predator. So I went to court to see the sentence, and I said I got him, but I appreciate Judge Hannibal. But I do want to say this. The young man was in there with his mother that he abused. He was 15 at the time. He groomed this young man, showed him money, offered him Xboxes and games, and he groomed him. You can trust me. He's a predator. He's a predator. He preyed on an innocent child, young man, and he changed his life for the rest of his life. You have predators out here. He's a criminal, sexual, deviant predator. So he was supposed to be sentenced like a week ago. Judge Hannibal, I commend him for this, said 12 years is enough for him. 12 years is not enough, because this 15-year-old got a whole lifetime. John Cole was in prison for 10 years for infecting, I believe it was over 40 people. He didn't tell them that he had HIV. He didn't tell them he had HIV. He got out. He worked on Mayor Neely's campaign. He was proud to wear Mayor Neely's campaign shirts and hats. He associated himself with people. Yeah, he was proud about that one. That's him. He was proud. Leave that one up. To associate himself with these people, to get into groups, and people used him. Mayor Neely had him taking Mayor Karen Weaver signs. He had them in the back of his truck at the Sunoco on Saginaw Street, the big signs. He was taking them down. He got clout. He was associated himself with people and was able to use Mayor Neely's influence to get around people so that they would trust him. I looked at that young man and his mother, who this man groomed. I remember watching him on the video, and I told the mother, I said, after court, I remember seeing him he had a little Nickelodeon shirt on, and he had a little Coats for Kids nonprofit, because a lot of Mayor Neely friends have nonprofits, and the ARPA fund goes to nonprofits like Liddell Lewis nonprofit, where she voted to give herself $25,000, 50,000 and 25. And by the way, at the Michigan Municipal League, I talked to there was a few attorneys there and said that's illegal. She shouldn't be able to do that. She should be forced to give that money back and resign. Only in Flint can you be your own fifth vote. Your own fifth vote. So he groomed this young man, handsome young man, and gave this child and infected him with HIV. It was another one. He didn't end up catching or contracting HIV, but he'll have to be tested for the rest of his life because this disease is different in different bodies. He infected this 15-year-old child, and the mother just wept. She wept. So John Cole, with his Neely t-shirt on here, who was stealing signs, doing all kinds of stuff, taking kids. And I work for the mayor. I'm with the mayor. I'm with the mayor, Mayor Neely. I'm with Mayor Neely. That's what she was saying. I trusted him. He was with the mayor. I trusted John Cole. He was with the mayor. He was with Mayor Neely. These parents said, and these kids, I trusted him because he was with the mayor. This 15-year-old has HIV. It's the sadness about that young man. And the mother, and I told her, I said, he's a criminal, sexual, deviant predator. It's not your fault. He saw a weakness and knew how to prey on this young man. He saw a weakness in him and knew how to prey on him. This young man, he could be changing his sex. He gave him HIV. He contracted it. The details of it were so graphic, what he had him doing to him. That was in the transcripts. For money, he took a child that needed money, and the parents were at a level of poverty, and he flashed that money, flashed it. You can have this, all you got to do is this. Talk to your children. Don't let them go with nobody. If your gut, your spirit ain't right with them, trust it. God gave you that for a reason. If you feel they not right, trust it. He got close to this child by using Mayor Neely's influence, these children, and cash he was earning. He said working for the campaign, for Mayor Neely's campaign. He's taking his kids. I'm going to take you to the movies. I'm going to take you to the basketball game. I'm going to take you out to dinner. I'm going to get you an Xbox. Money he earned from working. That's what they said on the campaign. They was like, he's got to be a good person. He's with Mayor Neely. Has to be a good person. I trusted him. I trusted my baby with him. And silence from the mayor and the state rep. This lady just, and young man, their lives. Watch your children. If your gut tells you and your spirit tells you they ain't right, trust it. Children don't own nothing. They live with you. They're not entitled to privacy. They want to act crazy. Hey, I take a door off the hinge. Angie, I'll be glad when God stops all this evil doing and they'll get caught up. Angie, I'm with you on that one. B. Marie, I remember a video that was shared on Facebook that showed Liddell Lewis was at John Cole birthday party. Well, he was coming down to city council to see her too. Liddell is always friends with some of everybody. I mean, I even saw a picture of her with the guy putting up the smoke detector on this page, and he was at the church prior, and they think we're gonna get into that. They're gonna get into that later. We'll do it later. So So she always hanging with the people that's questionable, not questionable, the people that are bad people, bad people. And she supports them. She's drawn to them. So don't let your kids go, and your friends, your niece and nephew, because I'm like a mother, I will ask the questions. I remember my sister went out on a date. I'm like, let me see your license, took a picture of front and back. I need 3 pieces of ID, and I was on the spot. He's like, are you serious? Yep, I'm very serious. Yep, absolutely. I sure am. Because you don't get to do redos, and I don't do regrets. I do not. So Judge Hannibal, and I appreciate him for this, said 12 years is not enough. He made the sentence 20 years minimum to 40 to 45 years. With credit served maybe 2 years or 3 years or something like that. He said, just give me my 20 years, I'm dying anyways. And I'm sorry, he said to the young man. Just give me my 20 years, I'm dying anyways. You take years off this kid's life, you don't get them back. That mom just cried. She just cried in the hallway. And the young man has got to figure out how to move forward and figure out his way as an adolescent, as a teenager, how to be right. How to be right. How do he find this way? He trusted a black male and he gave him HIV. He trusted a man and thought it was going to make his life better. He gave him HIV. He affected this child's sexuality, his trust factor, and then he sickened him with the incurable disease. He's sick mentally. He's a criminal, sexual, deviant predator. And I can't stand him. Just give me my 20 years. A lot of people wrote the electric chair should still be around. He would be a good person for that. So we are going to go on. We're going to move on along. So Producer Jay, put up the donate sign. I'm figuring out where I'm at. So if you please donate to Producer Jay 1987. Cash App. I cannot do this without him. So I'm getting the hiccups. So in between, can you pop up the next one? The one with two of them, the two purple ones with the smaller one. I want to talk about what they have in St. Mark's. So if you please kindly donate to Cash App, $ Producer J 1987. Producer J, Cash App, $ Producer J 1987. It's at the bottom of the crawl also. So Jessica Stewart, Jerry and Della did a bang up job raising that one. Oh, Jessica. Philip Johnson, I wish I could talk to these kids and their families. Berta Baby, have anyone seen Lewis in public with their child? Beverly did at the restaurant at Red Lobster. Beverly Biggs did. So y'all can please kindly donate. I can't do this without him. Oh, and by the way, we did receive a threat. Producer Jay, we got a threat that we better not do any more shows. What did we do with that one?
I don't know. I don't know where it's at. I can't find it. I don't know.
So I want the person to know we didn't stop doing shows. I've just been busy, and we had Michigan Municipal League, and I had some other pending things that I was busy. So we're not stopping doing the show because y'all threatening us that we better not do no more damn shows. You're going to fuck us up. Yeah, I gave that to the police too. So, and that Producer Jay, that they said they can get to you. you know. So we were just busy.
And been and did something. I self-defense myself and been and did something.
I'll self-defense myself. So I have been busy. And then I had whatever god awful thing, I ain't gonna say god awful, whatever awful thing that was going around that the cute little 8-year-old, my little co-host gave me, that she cute, but she got everybody in our entire family sick. Everybody. So by the time I tested, it was not COVID, it was not strep throat, it was not the flu. It just lingered. I think it was COVID, but I went to get tested at the real doctor. So I did. I went to to the real doctor. So coming up, we have on October the 13th, Bishop Trotter of Chicago will be at St. Mark Baptist Church of Flint Restoration Service. Music ministry, Albert Strickland and Chosen. Y'all think that they'll let me sing a solo? Because y'all know how I feel. I'm a little salty about not being able to sing a solo. I'm a little salty about that. Just a little bit. It'll be October 13, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. at Calvary United Methodist Church on Flushing Road. They are over there. We know that on August 30th, we had an arsonist. We talked about it, I think, on the last show. One of the shows, had to be the last one. With the arsonist torched the church. Had 3 cans of gasoline. They are offering a $5,000 reward that leads to the rest of the person or persons have something to do with the fire. Because who walking around carrying 3, what you call them? Gas cans. 3. There were 3. 2 in the trash can that were thrown and 1 that was in the field. 3. And they were new ones. They were new, and gas had went up. Y'all know who gonna do that? There were 3. So left the rag, left 1 in the field. And I want to say thank you to that day, because we had a difficult time getting them to pick up the things until I had to make a call to Chief Green. I had to be nice to him that day. And he was like, no, I'm sending somebody out there. They're not leaving those out there. Tell them, leave them out there to Tuesday. How you going to leave on a Friday all the evidence out there till Tuesday? Help me out with that, y'all. Okay? Somebody go get Scooby-Doo, Velma. Look, go get the Harding boys, that Nancy Drew. Go get Columbo. Come on. I mean, so Bishop Trotter is going to be a restoration service. They want the public to come out. So come out. It's on Flushing Road, the Brick Church. It's in the building where the new Hasselbrink is located in the 6th floor. We talk about bringing community together, making sure that we as a community, that everybody is welcome. This is where we're going to be. We're going to be worshiping at St. Mark Baptist Church. It's going to be at Calvary for a restoration service. And they serving food, y'all. They serving food. They're serving good food too. We ain't talking about no little meatballs and just drink. It's gonna be some good food. So he's coming from Chicago to fellowship. It'll be October the 13th, which is on a Monday at 6:30 p.m. I'm gonna ask the choir, can they let me sing, y'all? I'm just saying.
Hey, if you in Flint and you hear this, that just means they let Tanya Burns sing her solo, and she did.
I know, right? Let me tell you what Dink said the last time Bishop Trotter was here. Dink, I ain't forget this. Dink Sosa, who owns Upper Level on the Bricks to be opening next month, and owns Roadhouse and Vibe. Some Tanya, you was dancing in church like you was dancing in the club. I'm like, I was getting my praise on. Y'all. No, that choir had me. I was like, okay now. But it was good. So if they don't let me sing, I'm gonna be a little salty. No, I ain't. But listen, come fellowship and join Monday, October the 13th at 6:30 p.m. At the pastor of the church is Reverend Pastor Kevin Thompson, and we will have Bishop Trotter that will be there. So come fellowship and come join. Come have a meal. Y'all come. Let's be together. Let's show some unity in the community. Unity in the community. So come on out October the 13th. So we're gonna move on. Look, those are the church announcements. So we're gonna go on to and we're gonna take some call-ins at some point too. So we're gonna go on to convention. Y'all, the convention I thought was good. Councilwoman, can you sing us something on tonight, Sister Burns? Mark Hutchinson, don't play. You know they wouldn't let me sing. And the children's choir, Blackwell A.M. Zion Church, they gave Carol a solo, wouldn't give me one. I'm a little salty about that, but that's okay. I think I sing good, but I'm in the car by myself. But then my kids used to have the headphones on. So anyway, so listen, we're going to go on. So that the ML, the Michigan Municipal League Conference, is a conference where you can learn great skills. So you can go to, you have numerous breakouts and some are at the same time. And so one of the ones that I went to, which was Civility and Ethics, and it was good. So Civility and Ethics. So the first, I don't know how long, maybe 20, 30 minutes, our colleagues weren't there. But lo and behold, it didn't take much time for Liddell towards them. They were asking questions. Y'all, she hates the podcast. She hates the podcast. Tasha Lynn, if Carol called in, we're going to be on here till 4:30 a.m. Trust me. Trust me. So listen, we'll be on here. I'm going to break a new record, Carol. Come on here. So listen. So at the Michigan Municipal League, one of the best ones that I went to, but there was a lot of network. And I want to tell y'all this. There are people that watch us from all over. Douglas, Michigan, Saginaw, Roscommon, Lansing, Fonda Brewer, Kathy. I mean, some great people we met. Harper Woods. And y'all know the one who liked to party too much. You know that mayor up in Saginaw, Pro Tem. She was the former Pro Tem mayor, Brenda. Brenda is a blast to be with in Saginaw. She is a blast. She likes to have a good time. She does. And so it was nice to be there to fellowship. And so when we were there, the Civility and Ethics, and they talked about ethics, and it was really good. It was Elliot Superstar. You trying to be funny comes to calling. And Carol gonna be and called in for real. But Carol, you got to give me some time. I'm gonna call Carol. So in this, some of the things that they talked about, which were really beneficial, was tone. And that, if you want respect, you got to give respect. The effective meetings, the presiding officer. Do we have, because I don't have the what's the name. Can you put up the screenshot, please? And so it's effective meetings, the title, the presiding officer. So I'm like, that resonated with me. So I called in and not called, I'm sorry, calling. So I started taking pictures with my phone. And so it says effective meetings, it's in light blue too. It says your tone sets the tone. Yep. Thank you. Because look, I want y'all to know that I did not go there and waste Flint's money. Tanya Burns went there and brought some good stuff back. I was paying attention. I wasn't asleep. So effective meetings, the presiding officer, your tone sets the tone of not only the meetings, it influences the perception of the council and of your city or village. So, your tone sets the tone. Like, okay, so your tone sets the tone. So when you are talked to crazy in meetings, as residents are, you're constantly disrespected in meetings, the chair sets the tone. When I chaired, I never had that problem. I just didn't. Because you have to show empathy. And these are some of the things they talk about. Your tone sets the tone. Liddell came right back and showed her behind at yesterday's meeting. Candace showed her behind at yesterday's meeting too. It is really disgraceful because a lot of these people have seen them in action and talk about them. I didn't know these people. We have people from other cities all over, not just, I know we got people in California, we got them in North Carolina, Alabama, South Carolina, Chicago, Tennessee, Florida, all over. And thank y'all to all of y'all who do St. Louis. But we have Michigan who watch the meetings and they watch this podcast. So shout out to y'all if you're not from here and you watch that and they never comment. They never comment. JWC was like, Burns. It's a lady down here want to meet you, Burns. She said she'd be watching. Matthew Owens from Texas. Hey. And so she's in Lansing. She's the Lansing supervisor. And she watches Flint. People watch what we do because we have got an opportunity. We have, let's say, good bones, but we need the people who care to kind of snuff out the ones who are causing the havoc. We got to fight for our city. We have to fight for it. We're giving them our city without even fighting for it. We let people come in here and tell us what they gonna do and don't ever do nothing. Don't even show up for nothing. Sheena, you wrong. So some of the other things that I learned, and I ended up just saying, just send me the slides is what I did. Can you put up the next slide? Please and thank you. So the tone sets the tones. So wait a minute, I was doing a little too much now. Let me turn this back. So one of the things that effective meetings, the presiding officer, appearance is appearance superficial regarding ethics and civility. Yeah, you really have to, look the part, act the part, talk. You should not be in public service if you don't like the people. And was it Sarah Houston who said, who's the she speaks about the deaf and the ADA and the deaf community, who I think it was her who said, I don't even think you like people. You got to like people. You should like people if you're in public office. If not, don't be in public office. Do not. Make sure you come in there together. And that is important. That is important. So appearance matter. So one of the things that Sandusky does is making sure that proper conduct is keeping your promises, being dependable, building a solid reputation, participating and being available, demonstrating patience, showing empathy. Another one's holding on to ethical principles under stress, listening attentively. They don't even look up at the people. You come to that podium or lectern, they don't even show you enough respect to look up at you. They don't even look up at you. Keeping integrity intact, overcoming discouragement, going above beyond the time, over time and time again, modeling a professional manner. Well, we know Liddell was jumping out that seat to fight everybody. She was. And Candace was right there calling Dennis all kind of snakes. You a snake, you not no good. And she was. They were both of them. Both. Hey, JWC. Yeah, she was laughing. She had to come. She said, look, I'm going to come get you so you don't get lost. Because your girl's GPS had me by the river. She was like, you went the wrong way. I'm coming to get you so we don't get lost. Because I did get lost, walking lost. But maybe I needed to take a little stroll to kind of, Bishop Priestley, please stop at all that lecture stuff. I get tired of hearing that word from Candace and Liddell. The lectern. So these are some of the things that I found interesting. And I'm going to share the the entire slides when they come, because it only makes us better to serve you when we know these things. There's it says being mindful of ethical conduct. There's Michigan Public Act of 1973 and of 1968. So being mindful of ethical conduct says public officials may not use their offices for personal financial gain. 2, holding public office does not entitle a public official to personal advantages or perks. 3, transparency promotes public trust and confidence. Do not be secretive in decision making. Listen, y'all know they secretive. Call for the question, call for the question. Number 4, merit-based decision making based on their processes produces the best results for the public. Do not let favoritism or bias cloud decision making. Y'all, I don't think they was at the same conference listening that I was at. I'm just saying we was all in this room together. And what they come back and do, the opposite of what this class was about. Your tone sets the tone. So I wanted to share those things. And so before the class was almost over, Liddell decided to say, hey, that is fine to be. We'll leave that up there while I tell the story. So before the class is over, Liddell raised her hand, and they asked, she says, well, I have a question. Do anyone else have a council member who has a podcast that they're getting paid on, and they stream it from the city line and they take donations? I mean, do we have a council member that does it? The presence of me and the broadcasting of my social media and YouTube irritates her demons. I irritate Liddell's demons. My podcast irritates Liddell's demons. My presence irritates Liddell's demons. And so she asked this, anybody who can do it, and Stanley, thank you for getting up there and say, I don't take a dime for this, because why? I ran on transparency, was one of them. I believe in it, along with inclusiveness, truth, and transparency. And I don't take any money from this. It don't even go to my account. Ain't no offhand trade or not. I take nothing. I need someone to produce it. We like a 2-man, 4-man, no, 2-woman with our moderators. We are 4 make it go show. And everyone, they volunteer, Sheena and Patrick and producer Jay. We have to pay for certain things, and some things that we're going to be working on to change. I just haven't had the time. So for Liddell, which that's probably where the threat came from, was from her, because the podcast irritate her. You know, he's sitting on that podcast for hours with her. What difference does it make? We on there 15 hours. Don't watch it. It's none of your damn business. You don't like it, don't watch it. That's just the way that goes. And so she literally said that. So then I raised my hand. I said, look, I'm transparent. Look, she's talking about me and she's telling a lie. She's lying, because one thing, I have never taken any money, but I do have an ethical question, because ethics was a part of this. Can you be your own fifth vote to vote on your own resolution to receive money into your own nonprofit that you voted on? I'll wait. But we all know that question is, you can't. Not at all. So Judy Priestley has stated that before. Well, it didn't go to her, it went to her bank account. Well, she changed some stuff around, but the bank account is still in her name. And it's still hers. She originated and she created it. She did not dissolve it. Therefore, it is her. And Judy is a liar. Don't care for her at all. At all. And I think people are really starting to see who they are, including that Mr. Peachy. And Leon, I think, bothers Mr. Peachy sitting up there. I think he does. Mr. Peachy told him, you know, Mr. Peachy don't like me. I don't know who he like. And he told you to quit hanging around that mayor so much. Okay, Mr. Preacher, you coming to the, to the other side. You're waking up. So I don't take any money from the podcast. I don't take anything. I do it to make sure, because we get 2 minutes for public speaking. It's not enough. Our time is limited, and it's even more limited because they abuse their position and power by saying call for the question, which is another thing you should not be doing with the Michigan League. You should not be doing for call for the question, shutting down debate. They are the worst elected officials. They are. They shut down debate because they feel they have control. Worst elected officials are. You allow space. You allow space for people, because I need to know what's going on in the 9th Ward, and even with the 1st Ward. And he ain't answering his phone now anyway. The 1st Ward people call me all the time. My last call was at 7 something for a 1st Ward person. Whether he had that phone or not, he ain't been answering it. He let Davina keep that in the drawer for over 2 months, and before that, he wasn't calling it. And then lie, but she took my phone. And look, I took your phone and kept it like I'm a cocaine and alcoholic abuse that he put on a certified statement attesting that the statements were true. You're going to eat that. You're going to eat those words. I promise that part. I promise that. So this beautiful lady right here is in Lansing. Her name is Fonda Brewer. And so this is us with her. I'm her sass. She's a part of the Black Caucus. And Jerry, we got to talk about that because we didn't fill out our stuff again. And so we had a great time, and she watches. Her and her staff and other friends, and they watch. And so she is a beautiful person, and gave so much encouragement to say, hey, keep working. Don't give up. Because a lot of times, y'all, if y'all don't think I'll be like, who gonna put up with this abuse? Just like with Candace, we ain't gonna talk about her today because we're gonna keep it to just these topics. We'll be on here forever and ever. They'll trigger you to do something. And I'm not letting nobody take me to a place that God has delivered me from. You can't take me there, but you're all wrong with 28.6, trying to say that the lectern, the person, the chair can call. Chair can't call who I want to speak for me. Chair, can you please call who you think should be able to answer my question for me? Nah, that ain't how that goes. They lie. The other liar swears by it. That's not how that goes. 28.6 states the person who's speaking, the speaker, the council member, gets the call forward who they want to talk to. I don't know how in the world, but like I said, y'all know I keep it ready. That rule, 28%, and keep that up. But please and thank you. So y'all know when she went on that whole little tirade, because she's trying to set a pattern, that I'm disrespectful so they can give me 90 days. I'm going to sue y'all asses. I'm going to take your dog. I'm going to take your weave because my attorneys watch. I'm not playing. I'm going to take your pom-pom. I'm going to take your size 19 ugly white boots that look like some Colgate white roller skates that your ankle's too big that you can't zip the inside. Yeah, I'm going to take them too. And I'm not playing. You keep trying me if you want to, because he watches.
Hold on now. You don't want them weaves, though. They can keep them.
Listen, I'm going to take it. So Rule 28.6 states council members may request from the presiding officer. Okay, 28%. Council members may request from the presiding chair the opportunity to ask questions of staff or others during debate on any agenda. Any such questions and responses shall count against the council member's time. So she was literally lying because Candace is a liar. She lied, and she's trying to set me up for something. I'm not going to let you be disrespectful. Heifer, I hadn't even talked to her. What is you talking about? And every time I talk, I want y'all to notice she's talking. She's talking every single time. She's talking. And so And so then Liddell jumps in to say, because they work as a clique and a crew, and like they tag teaming. I'm like, you're not gonna run me about my council seat. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. I'm built tougher than that. Okay, I'm built tougher than that. And so then they said, well, it's 27.2. You know, and then that's the chair does not have to wait for a point of order to be raised to rule. Okay, well, and then she shouldn't be interrupted unless the rule was broken. Then they said, well, it was 27.4. Only the chair may call an individual up to speak or answer questions. Other council members may petition the presiding officer to make this request. So my request was for Clyde Edwards. I don't need for my question anybody else. I get to, and you go through the chair, but that's Robert's rule. You go through the chair, Madam Chair, I'd like to speak to Clyde Edwards. Okay, I did that. He wanted to bring Lauren. I didn't need to speak to her. And I'm gonna tell her because Lauren wrote a lying letter, and I'm gonna put it up the next show we do. I'm not gonna have dialogue with people who lie, who have lied. I mean, I'm not going to do it. Because they lied that one time, put a whole little letter together. They wrote one on Mace, they wrote one on Dennis, and she wrote one on me. Because my attorney has all this as I'm building my case. As I'm building my case. And so 27.4 has nothing to do. Only the chair may call an individual. Okay, the chair, I have to go through the chair. That's the process for Robert's rules. I did that. I didn't ask for Lauren. Nothing states that the chair gets to call who they want to for me to ask my question. It don't go like that. Candace and Liddell are liars, and they stick by worst council members ever. And she goes into this tirade, and I don't know, do the stare downs work, y'all, for y'all? Because then she gave me the stare down. Well, I can get that back. She should learn that, but Quincy. The stare down it don't work with me. And again, 28.6 states, unless otherwise, council members, that means all of us, may request from the presiding chair, that was then Candace, the opportunity to ask questions of staff or others during debate on any agenda item. Any such questions and responses shall count against the council member time. There is nowhere in here that the chair gets to call somebody up and choose that person stay up there. They just lie. And we're not going to say mistruth, they lie. And 27.4 just says that what the person has to do is go through the chair. I went through the chair. They just lie. They lie. They liars, and my attorneys love it. My attorneys love it. They love it because y'all showing y'all behinds. So there's beautiful ladies in Lansing, and she says now, and I'm reading from y'all. You can go. Look, I'll tell it's city council rules, and it's on page. I'm saying, are these even numbered? They are numbered, y'all. But you know, my books be all raggedy because I like to read. So page 11 of 13. And make sure you get the governing rules because Liddell didn't have the right year. Make sure you get this one. Okay. So they tried to make 27.4 and it was 28.6. And there's nowhere that states that the presiding chair can tell you who can be up there that you get to ask questions for. It don't work that way. They're just liars. They lie. And they're going to keep on lying. And if they think they build in their case, I'm building mine. Because I'm not going to play. You legally remove me for 30 days. Oh, that's already one. I'm coming. I'm not going to play. I don't care if your baby mix match size. I'm not going to play because they inflict this on people. And I'm going to tell you, when they got rid of Mays, how dirty they did him. Mays fell into a depression. They were so hard on him. They tried to break him down. And then they removed him for 30 days. And they did for 90 days. They threw him out of every single meeting. They talked to Dennis so nasty. He said, I had 2 strokes. Judy was nasty. What did we just learn? Have empathy. Have empathy. And they don't have empathy. Then they went to say, well, Jonathan, you missed a lot. He's been sick. Now, Liddell missed 3 meetings. They don't have empathy. And they're liars. They lie. 28.6, it just don't count. They removed us, so she turned her back on Quincy. Okay. And it was me and Jerry did. But see the hate that they have because my spirit irritates them demons of theirs. My spirit irritates their demons. So St. Mark's, October 13th. So let's put up another one. Kathy is in Douglas, Michigan, over by Sagatuck. And this is Kathy. She watches us all the time. And she's watching for her and Fonda. Sending y'all some love and her staff. So we have people who watch us who say, you know what? Thank you for showing your council rules. Thank you for not giving up when they are wrong, because they see the attacks. They see the nonsense. They see the games being played. These are Michiganders, but y'all see it too, from Texas to Cali to New York to South Carolina, North Carolina, to St. Louis, to Tennessee, to Georgia. That's Texas, all over. And they see it. But these are other Michiganders who watch and don't say anything. And they say, stay strong. You and Jeremy Carter and the other four and Jonathan and Dennis, stay strong. We see this, just unbelievable. How do they vote on their own and it's still their own resolutions and keep their seats? We would have them in prison. We'd have them in prison. So these are people, I didn't know either one of these beautiful ladies. And these were some friends. And when we talked about empathy with something ethics, civility in the ethics portion was dynamic. So, and there were other things I learned from the MML. And what I did learn is my iPhone needs to be upgraded because my GPS just do what it won't. So, but I did not waste the city of Flint's money and your money. I made sure I went there and learned and to bring something back. And even when I was up under with Candace yelling and screaming and giving me the stare down, and she's at the chair, she's cheering and making up rules, trying to say 27.4 allows her to call up somebody from me. No, 27.4 says I have to go through you. And then I'm going to try to say it was 27.2. Nope, that wasn't it. 28.6 is when it's my turn, I address the chair, got the floor, I call up who I want. Then she'll say, well, she's going to say, I'm not going to allow you to talk to this lady nasty. No, you're the nasty one. Candace's attitude was deplorable, unhinged, and saddening to see. Now, what she wanted, I guess, for me to get out of, I'm not there for her. You're not running me about my council seat. You're not running me about my council seat. I'm not letting the residents of the city of Flint down. Yes, it gets stressful. Yes, I get tired of the BS. Yes, I get tired of the garbage. But I went there to this convention, and it was nice to know that people were rooting, and along with all of you, y'all keep me encouraged. You keep me encouraged. Y'all know one of my favorites. Every day I listen to William Beckton, Be Encouraged, every single day, because I need to be encouraged, because the stuff and some things I can't even talk about, only with my attorney. I worry, but I pray. I even pray for my enemies. Now, I ain't a good of a Christian where I cannot at this time pray for Liddell, Candace, or Judy. I cannot. Or Leon. I take that back. I did say a prayer for Leon. I did. I really did. Because there was a child that is involved. I did say a prayer for him. And that one took a lot. That one, I don't know how God fixes that, because Kiki is so broken. She's broken. And I don't know. But the mother three, they are intentionally just unhinged, and Judy, well, that deserves it. Judy, I'm not going to deal with you. You should have set up and said some stuff that Tom Travis put up on his page. And then people is upset with you. She's not going to do, she would not support George Floyd, but she supported Charlie Kirk. She comes against the North Side all the time. I mean, she's adamant. And y'all close with her, or you just need her that vote that bad? I'm befuddled by that. So, listen, if y'all could donate to $, put it up there. And then we gonna go into. I want to take a couple calls. And who would said, call in, Carol? Y'all know if Carol call in, look, grab you some popcorn, grab you some popcorn, a beverage, your blanket, your comfortable PJs. If it gets cold at night, cut your heat up because she's gonna still be on at 4 a.m. And so, do we have a number, Producer Jay? And do we have a number? But I do want to say this. Yes, thank you. Please kindly donate to Cash App, $ Producer J 1987 1987. I need him to put on my show, and I'm gonna turn around and ask y'all to, if you can donate to Kiki. But if you can please, I cannot do to get this out. They don't want this out. And me getting this out allows us to be transparent. I believe in good government, good policy. I believe in truth, transparency, and inclusiveness for all of us. Inclusiveness for all of us. I believe in that. Billy, text her and tell her if she can call in. But she might have fell asleep. So I believe in inclusion and transparency. So if you please kindly donate to Cash App, $ Producer J 1987 1987. Producer J.
I needed 1 second on the call in. Hold on.
Okay, that's fine. Can you put up the GoFundMe for Kiki while you're waiting on that? Yeah. So there is a GoFundMe for Kiki. And listen, this is Missouri. Watch this be St. Louis. Hello? What I tell y'all? We get ready to put a number up. St. Louis got the number.
Yeah, I had to call.
We do you.
But it vexed my spirit. Yeah, this idea. They are really jealous of you. See, they want to be you, but they don't know how.
Look, they may not want my shoes if they know what I'm walking in. I ain't never incurred so much attorney debt just to stay in the seat. I'm going to the negative, fighting for what's right to stay in my seat, literally, and fighting for the people. And people don't understand that.
They don't even want their own damn shoes. That's why they're stealing money.
Yeah.
That's why you're stealing money. And those, and if you look at it, and I've been listening, nearly those are the people you hang around with. Pedophiles, thieves, people like you. And on top of that, he know how to pick stupid ass people. He picked them. He saw their weakness. That's why they up there. And for the third ward, y'all bring that bitch some M&M peanuts. Y'all give her some of that. Because I think she needs some. And I meet them. If y'all don't know who I meet is, that's that person, that's that woman in the first ward. All that, I'm going to be nice. All he needs is a damn wig on his head looking like them.
Look, Michelle Pfeiffer said, "Good evening, St. Louis."
Good evening. But yeah, they here. That's all. If I was Kiki, and I'm not saying or speaking bad on Kiki. If I was Kiki and that bitch did that to me, my brothers, my cousins,
They won't
my family, his mother, His mama wouldn't know what his ass is. They'll be trying to find that son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
The man.
These are not the views of Tanya Burns. They are the views of St. Louis and of the Tanya Burns Show. I got to do a disclaimer with St. Louis.
But he is a weak ass man. I bet you he couldn't do a man like that.
Well, it's St. Louis, check this out. When Arthur Woodson comes up there and speak, he runs to the back. Do y'all see that on there?
Yes, he do that all the time.
Do y'all see he actually runs to the back? He doesn't have that energy for the men.
He's scared of men.
I mean, he literally gets up and goes to the back every single time.
He's scared of men. That's why he's a damn woman.
These are not the views of Tanya Burns. These are the views of St. Louis.
I'm gonna try my best to keep it clean.
Oh, you too late for that. But St. Louis, look, I had a good conversation with LaShawn. I don't know what it's gonna come of it. You know, I had a couple. Me and Jerry Wilfrey Carter did. Yeah, well, I just talked with her. You know, to talk. But I'm looking at how she votes. I'm looking at how she votes. And she said, I mean, you can always find a commonality with some people and some things, but I'm looking at how she votes. And I don't know where they're at with that investigation for the signatures. I don't know. I know Beverly was calling. I think she's supposed to call to check to see, but Flint always faces so many. It's like, you got to be kidding me problems. Like you.
Miss Burns, I thought, I may be wrong, but you can correct me on this. I thought that when you do absentee ballot, that means that you will not be able to be there to vote. Like if you, just say you're in Chicago, so you do sending your ballot in. I thought that's what it was. But for you to still live, I mean, you living there, you can go vote. What do you need absentee ballot for? But Neely, he's a good one. Because really, they're not getting as many absentee ballots like they want. I bet you they probably look, they made less than 10 years ago.
Well, they might. Well, St. Louis, you look, you know, you always take extra time. It's been it's going on 6 minutes. So Carol was trying to call in, so I'm gonna have to.
Carol too. Carol, I love Carol. I love Miss Carol. I mean, I love everybody.
We love you too.
But somebody was saying that JJ like to look at the heart, the good of people.
Mm-hmm.
Tell JJ St. Louis said God did that too. He did that with the devil. He thought he saw good in him, and look what happened.
Well, Tanya Burns serves the 6th Ward and anyone else who needs any help. So,
and one more thing, Miss Carter, when I started looking at it 2 years ago, I would always wonder how come she'll never say nothing. But Lord and behold, I didn't know she had a mouth. She got thoughts. Y'all believe them for long. Because God is on their side. I don't know what God you serving. 1, 2, 3, 4, and Bill's baby doll, Candace. I don't know what God y'all serving, but y'all better get on your knees and pray and ask God to forgive you, because that devil Neely, he's doing just what the devil wants y'all to do. And that's all I had to say.
well, thank you, St. Louis. Look, get you some rest, huh?
I was saying, hi, producer Jay.
He on the other thing doing something, trying to get a line to call in. he's trying to fix the number. So
That's all I had to say. It'll be probably 3 or 4 more hours before I go to bed.
but get you some rest. I gotta let Carol through. Talk at you. Thanks for calling St. Louis.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. Okay, so you on. So you had called, you on.
Okay.
Look, they were summoning you.
Okay. Is we rolling or you want me to call back?
No, we rolling. Let's do it.
Okay.
So what's been going on? And look, y'all can catch Carol every Friday on the hottest AM station, 1420. At what time you come on? Every Friday? 4 o'clock? 5 o'clock. At the what? What's the name of it?
It's called A Community Conversation, and I am your host, Carol.
Okay, so what's been going on? So tell me, how do you feel that you actually live in the first ward?
Well,
and all this is coming out.
First of all, the whole situation is disturbing because there's no secret. It was never no secret that he didn't live in the first ward. Okay, that's first and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, I think we have to understand what times we're living in. The city of Flint received more money than they probably ever received from the federal government, including your school system. Okay. You have to understand, as a citizen, politicians have a glimpse at what is to come, like what is supposed to happen in the future for government. They plan ahead of time usually, unless there's a situation that's unprecedented, something happens out the blue. But other than that, budgets, survival things, stuff like that is pre-planned. So we need to understand it's no coincidence that several of these people sitting on our council does not live in the city. This is a money grab. This is not about them being reelected next time and you're going to get them next time. They're going to be the robbed us blind this time. This is about a money grab. This is about organized crime. Okay? You cannot get me to believe this man who can barely speak, okay, who is clearly inadequate to serve a population of people he's barely able to maneuver for himself. You can tell by these ditches that he keeps finding himself dug in, because what made him think that he could whoop a woman and hold a political position, and that would not come out. On top of not even living in the city. The best thing about him is this, though. He's blowing the lid, the cover, off of all the rest of the criminals as well. It's clear that somebody had ran interference for this man, and it's clear that somebody is helping him navigate the judicial system. He is not that smart. If he was, he would have just simply moved in the first ward, right?
Just that simple.
I mean, just move in the first ward. I mean, you're running your scheme. You've gotten on the ballot. You're sitting in the seat. People are calling you out. Just move in the first ward. That never crossed his mind. The fact that he's so brazen tells me that he's being protected. This is a man that's been to prison. This is a man that went through some trouble to get his record expunged, okay? And now this is what he's going to do? No. He's getting some help. This is organized crime. I told you a long time ago, if they ever expose everything and if they ever hold these people accountable, this will rise to the level of the RICO Act. You and I have discussed that. So,
yeah. And I think that's one of the things that they're looking for with St. Mark's Church. Who helped this guy? He had 3 gasoline cans that were new. And if you listen to some of the person that's alleged, he was homeless, really.
okay.
And so who helped him? And so I think that's why that reward was offer because they want to look to see to find out. We got to start, like I say, talking about this, and people are afraid to speak out. People are afraid to help Kiki.
Well, let's be clear here, okay? We're dealing with some gangsters, and it's clear that they've been given criminal immunity. They're not being held responsible for their crimes. This man has a PPO against him, and he's violated it 7 times, and he's still able to walk around here freely, okay? This is why Rose Marrow's headquarters could be burned down and nobody's held accountable. This is why my signs could be cut out with a saw and nobody sees anything. And ultimately, this is why we have a city councilman not even living in the city, maybe more than one. Okay. It's been speculation that Candace may not live in the ward she's supposed to be living in. We know Liddell was not in her ward for a year, which is a qualification to get your name on the ballot. She was not. She homesteaded, I think, from Maryland or something like that. So this whole group, and then look at LaShawn with her forgeries. It was clear that those signatures had been signed by the same person. It is clear that there has been some elections violations. It is clear that all these things have taken place, yet there's no accountability for Flint, but yet Lapeer, Saginaw, and everybody who's been tampering with elections, committing voters fraud, and all those things have been held accountable. But yet, in our city, a chocolate city that has been given an immense amount of wealth from the federal government, plus was a manufacturing money mecca, okay? A lot of millionaires, self-made millionaires, came from right here in Flint, Michigan. And you know what happened? Those people went into the factories. They got their hustles on. They became millionaires, plus collected a check, plus put children through private schools, plus cultivated children that were pro athletes, inventors, scholars. Look, we are in a economic war here, okay? This isn't this about us in our time, but this is about the takeover of a chocolate city. Let's be clear what's going on here, okay?
So, what do you think should be done about the residency issue? Any ideas? What would you say?
First of all, he needs to be immediately removed. We know he does not live in the city of Flint by his own admission. He's filling out PPOs with his Mount Morris address on it. How much clearer could it get that he is not a Flint resident? Yet we have Davina, who I am seriously considering suing in a civil suit. Because Davina, honey, you got to do your job. You can't walk around there with them Timu wigs switching like you are, this, that, and the third, and not doing your job. It is not optional, honey. It is not optional. It's mandatory. So she wanted the job so bad. Mays, he advocated for her. A lot of people advocated for Davina to get this job and sit there like she's slow. I'm wondering, is she getting a cut of the pie? You are sitting there and you are to be inactive is to be in full participation at this point, especially in a position like herself. Okay, Davina has to do her job, and if Davina won't do her job, then when they pick the rest of them up, Davina should be picked up. I think it's time for accountability. I think it's time for jail time. I think it's time for us to find out where our mayor really lives. I think it's time for us to bust up these whole shenanigans because it's obvious what's going on. Because you have people like Rose Morrow, who didn't have 2 nickels to rub together during the election, whom after the election came up with banners, signs, was knocking on doors. One lady said Rose almost was in tears begging her to let her put her sign down wherever my sign was. Somebody sending these people.
Now, her signs were placed during your election.
Everywhere mine.
Every place you had a sign, she placed, and signs are expensive. They're expensive, and people question, where did she get the money from to put those signs down? That's serious. And I know that people will offer you money, whether you take it or not, to offset. But every place your signs were, she was putting her sign there too.
Yeah. And like I said, I finally started asking the residents, why would you do that? Because you're sending out mixed messages and blah, blah, blah. And a couple of them told me, and one lady said she was almost in tears begging her. And this is my thing. Like I said, during the election, when her name was printed on the ballot, she didn't have two nickels to rub together. But now you a write-in, and all of a sudden you get a financial burst. Come on, she was paid to divide that vote, and then she messed up that protest. Okay, she sold us out. That's the
Oh,
problem.
the protest you talking about with Jedediah?
Yes, yes,
When,
and that
I
is the
think
problem.
Winters is still waiting on her to call back with her. She was cooking for the baby shower.
Well, don't get me started on Winters.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
She did support her.
yeah, and then she was disrespectful and rude to me, and I've never done anything to Winters. So after the election was over, I always gave Winters the utmost respect, because even though I didn't much care for Winters as a person, I respected her work, okay, as a media figure. But the fact that she lacks transparency and honesty and helped the divide of the community, and now you can't buy a vowel from Winters, that's upsetting too. We have to stop. You got to own your stuff.
Well, Winters did come out and speak against what Rose said several times. Yes, now she did do that, and she said that Rose wasn't truthful, and so did Maurice Davis. Maurice Davis was supporting Rose, and he called and put his wife Beverly on the line. He called and put her on the line to state where did it come from, and Beverly stated it was Rose. And so I think we have to be careful when people try to re-enter our community, that they need to be held to a standard of truth that they do. But
and here's my issue. This is the issue with that, though. The election was over, and they had that other vote that they didn't need. The other vote that's tearing us apart right now. The other vote that's making it 5 instead of 4. So when you got people out here speaking irresponsibly, because I could not like you, I could not be able to stand you. But if your work is good, then your work is good. And see, when we let our personal feelings make financial decisions, that's how you have a chocolate city in poverty. We have to start really, really focusing on what's real. We have to get our own information. We can't just accept information from people because we like that person. Because how many times has she changed her mind after being rude and disrespectful? But this isn't about her. That was just an example of how we end up in these positions that we find ourselves in. And like I said, now we're sitting up watching them with 5 votes. 1 forged signature, and then Leon, he's forged signatures to even get his name on the ballot. But the real question is, where's the judicial system? How many times do we have to report these people? And they're steady making decisions for us when it is clear that they've illegally obtained those seats. But when it comes to a Black community, okay, and we're supposed to be governing ourselves, but let's be clear, Sean Neely is not working excuse me, for the Black. I don't think he's working for Flint myself.
So you saying not the Black community, the white community is self-serving?
Basically.
Okay.
Basically. I mean, we expect, and then this is the thing too. He only shows up for photo ops. We need real leadership. We need real legislation, and these Judases keep sliding in, and it's no mistake. Okay, this is by design, and they're not getting away with this because they're so smart. They're getting away with it because they're in bed with somebody else. They're splitting that pot of 2, 3, 4 ways, just like some of the things that Candace did, taking that trip. With the little water situation with her and Liddell. How come she's not in? She should have been in. All of them voting on their own nonprofits. Come on now, how long do it take? You think ain't nobody in law enforcement saw that? It's the community's job to enforce the law and to keep snitching on these people and getting your car shot up and getting whooped up on. That's our responsibility. All while Swanson, Layton, Green, and all of these people, and even Mayor Neely, because he's the leader, he knows that this isn't right. If he was any type of for the city, he will be crying out, but you can't tell on somebody else when you a crook too.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, yeah, it's been 15 minutes, so I'm gonna Well, I'm gonna give some other people an opportunity to call in. The number he fixed. Okay, well, sir, we're gonna give somebody else a chance right now.
All right, go ahead on time. I'm watching though.
Okay, bye. Those are the views of Carol McIntosh, not the views of the Tanya Burns Show or Tanya Burns. Let's be clear. So you can call in 810-267-2980. 810-267-2980. 2980. So you can call in. If you can't get in on that one, you can call in at 810-471-7849. 810-471-7849. You can call in on either one. If that one's not working correctly, he was doing some work on it.
That one's working fine.
Producer Jay?
Yeah.
Is it working or?
Yeah, that number's working fine.
Okay. So look, you can call in 810-267-2980. 810-297-267-2980. You can call in. You can call in. Jeremy said the fact that these people know that they can get away with the corruption is truly worrisome for the city. Let me tell you something. I was talking to somebody and they was like, I'm not talking to you on the phones in Flint. I'm not. I will only talk to you person to person. I was like, oh my, got a call. The FBI is here. Okay, well, that we know Clyde had told us with the Housing Commission that the FBI was here. Hey, Big Shady 11, he had told us that. Then someone said Doge was here. I was on the phone with Sheena, literally, and we talked about Sheena, was that you? We were talking. It was the FBI. I said, well, FBI and Doge, and we had said it like back to back for like over a 2-minute period, and the phones just dropped. It went, oh, just dropped. So people don't want to talk to me, so I don't care if my phone is bugged. My life is not that interesting. I'm sorry. So, she is off the phone, sir. Anything I say to someone about my office, even I say publicly. I hear you, Taylor. I understand now. So we want Carol to come back on. Well, I was trying to give other people an opportunity, but Carol is watching, and so no one else wanted to call in. Y'all know she can talk. I could go heat up my food and eat and take a nap, and she'll still be talking because she got a lot to say. Hello.
Hey, Tanya.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Kevin, look, Producer Jay. I'm not. Yeah. I'm on factual stuff.
Oh, it's factual. It's factual.
These are not the views of Tanya Burns or the Tanya Burns Show.
Tanya Burns did not have no ties to anything I'm about
So
to say.
I do want to ask you this, Kevin. What is spurring you to put, and I mean, you're going into depth. I kind of been off the radar for the past kind of like since the first, really, but getting over whatever virus this was, but also with looking at the information that you're putting up. What is it that's driving you to do this? Because I mean, and I have not been on social media. Y'all can see like with my posts, but some of the stuff that Patrick and Sheena have sent me and other people. What's going on with you? Where's this coming from?
Well, one is the drive dealing with the senior citizens. I don't believe that the senior citizens should be taken advantage of. That's my big and foremost thing. Second, Leon been beating on that girl. He been beating on kids. And I'm not gonna say alleged. I'm gonna say he had, because I seen it with my eyes. 2, well, 3, I knew he didn't live in the city of Flint. I knew that for a fact. I own a house 2 streets over from him.
Oh, okay. So you saying you knew for a fact then?
Yeah, I know for a fact. And I know he was put in that seat. And that wasn't right. I'm also curious about some of the other stuff, even with Mays, because he dogged Mays and me before he was even thought of coming on the council.
Well, he ran before, and he ran against Mays and did not win. It was a landslide. He got dusted. That race wasn't nothing but a memory for him.
They also didn't cross their T's and dot their I's because he had just ran for the school board. And they didn't check that address.
But hold on, guess who else ran for the school board? Are you ready for this one? Kiki had. And she told me he made her withdraw. She had ran for the school board. She is a smart young lady. He made her withdraw. Go ahead, though.
Young woman, she is very smart and very educated. But when you have a man that's overpower a woman, it turns to something different. That woman probably broke down forever and never even moved out the driveway for a while because he didn't want her moving and going nowhere.
Oh, so you speaking to he got a new Cadillac and her car is not even running.
Correct.
That is correct. So you've been putting up a lot of stuff. So when did you become Columbo or Matlock or what's some of them old investigators? Because I don't know where you're getting this from, but you seem to have I'm gonna say locked in, doubling down. What is it you're trying to get out of this?
The city got to change, and as long as they got the abuse of power, it's never going to be right. You know, this man lied on me and said I was doing drugs and everything else. He don't even know nothing about me until he see me in court and I punked him out. And he go tuck his tail and run when it comes to me, because I'm not scared of nothing. I ain't bowed down to the mayor. I ain't bowed down to these raggedy city attorneys. I ain't bowed down to nothing because they thought I was just a little broke dude and they found out different. It's never going to happen. One, Liddell should have never been on city council in the first place because he had just ran for election down in Maryland. Davina stated that she seen the false information in the computer, and she also knew that she was not supposed to be on the seat, but there was nothing she could do, and I personally asked her, why did you say something after you was elected? And I told her, I'm filing a suit against her, and I'm going to hold her 1,000% accountable for that. She also stated that she knew Sheldon Neely do not live in Flint no more. She also knows that Candace Mouchette lives in Davidson. These are facts. I will send it and put it out there because I have it in black and white with a timestamp, with the name and number. I also got the city phone, the personal phone, and a home phone. The stuff is running reckless, and the city is getting abused. It's running to the ground. Every day I see 20 to 30 U-Hauls leave up out the city. It's more empty houses than it is people. And it's a shame. These kids has no life no more. It ain't, back in the day, kids had a life. They can't even ride outside. They can't. The police, we called the police the other night. They put me on hold for 4.5 minutes and said, please, if this is an emergency, do not hang up. I heard that so many times. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, they will say that. I've heard that too. Yeah.
And there was about 300 gunshots.
Yeah.
Right now.
There were some gunshots. God, it's been so much going on. Over by Durrell Drive area again. Today and last night and a couple days ago, and they got a problem that's going on over there. And then there was another shooting, which I'm trying to catch up because I had other stuff that I had to do. I hold certain licensing, and because I have to have security clearances, and I couldn't get security clearance because I didn't know that Leon had put personal protection orders out on me, and so they had held up my security clearances because he put a fake, erroneous a PPO on me, and I did not know he did it. I did not know, and so he caused irreparable harm to me.
But when I reserved him for his PPO, he got served at that same house in Mount Morris. I got it on video. He walked through the back door, came through the front door, and got the papers. So it's a lot of cover-up stuff, and I'm thinking even the judge right now is kind of sick because he just had overturned all them PPOs that Leon was falsifying on.
That's yes.
That goes on that judge's record that he had to overturn his own decision. That makes him look real bad.
Three.
Yours, mine, and Miss Beth's. I know for a fact. Mine got terminated. I found out mine was terminated a week prior to you going to court. They called me and told me. That's why I wasn't even pressing it. But this dude will put PPO senior citizens and men. Like, what? I can imagine how he was in prison. How many times he done laid up with a man?
Hey, nope. We was doing fine.
I'm trying. But
those are not the views of the time.
Let's have been out to the council. Candace, her 501c3 was transferred last year to the lab, so that's in her name since last year. This LaShawn chick, oh my God. I don't know what's going on. But Davina did say that it is under investigation. I have it in black and white. She said she sent it to the proper authority, and she also said that she knows them signatures was not right. But there's nothing she could do. The city attorney is rejecting stuff that Davina has sent to her. I have it in black and white that Davina said it. So that's what opened the door for me to go and file the grievance against the city attorney, which also my attorney also has a copy of, which also filed a complaint against the city attorney. So there's a lot of investigations going on. And even the county clerk, today I got them recorded where they said, that ain't our problem. We don't care. I said, but you're the county clerk. I said, it is your problem. I said, you certify these elections as well. I said, it's your job. I said, if somebody coming to you says the city don't have a ombudsman, I said, I think you have to send it off to the proper authorities. And the whole time I was talking to him, my attorney was on the phone. So it was recorded.
So what do you want to see change, Kevin? What do you want to see done?
Everything. Everything got to change. I want to see the city come back. I miss the old days, you know, kids running up and down the street playing, going to the park. Now they can't do nothing. The elderly people, I miss the big mama sitting on the porch, you know, yelling at the kids. It happened to me, and I was a bad kid. So
No.
they scared to look out the window. Like, they don't get no help from nobody. Like, the community shut the elderly down, and that's not fair. You know, I just had back surgery, and I'm still helping anybody I can, when I can, how I can. And I'm going to continue. Even though we got some trash in here, you know, including the mayor, definitely the mayor, you know, you talk about, you know, you love the kids. No, we know you love the kids because you love John Cole. Why is you up in the kids' school?
These are not the views of the Tanya Burns Show or of Tanya Burns.
He should not be allowed up at any kid's school. Any kid. Especially elementary school. Why is you around these babies? Why do you like these little My Ponies? It's a reason for this stuff. Why did John Cole like video games? You know what I'm saying? It's all questionable. Why did the Cookie Jar? Why did Liddell? Why did they have, you know, I brought John Cole out before anybody even thought about talking about him. When I first got a glimpse of him, I said, he's the problem. That's when I found out his real name was Johnny and not John Cole. I dropped the first article about him. His case went on in Ann Arbor because they had a transfer. It was Sheriff Pickles. Sheriff Pickles was the one that charged him when he gave the 50 guys HIV. He should have never seen a day of life. But as soon as this man come out, guess who's he's around? Sheldon Neely. And that, you know, that should be an eye-opener for everybody, including the people that really support him. Like, why is this man around a pedophile that gave 50 men HIV? Why is this school board member around somebody like that and calling him her son? Like, people got to open their eyes and understand they throwing the wool over and they saying, oh, we just go vote for him because he's black. No, that motherfucker's not black. He's pink. He looks like a pink ass.
Okay. Kevin Tate, you are not the views. Y'all, this is why. Yeah, you done MF dropped the bomb. Listen, we getting off. See, y'all was asking for Kevin. Kevin is he has to be on what do they call it? The internet or cable TV. He ain't for regular broadcast. You can't put Kevin on, and he know he can't be on. He know he can't. Yeah, you gotta be conscious, Kevin. Listen, we're gonna let somebody else call in. Look, I'm gonna be doing shows this week, catching up. I had to catch up on my social media, and so Lord Jesus. So listen, can you put up the GoFundMe? So in all seriousness, I should say, some of these, but y'all know, look, y'all asking for Kevin Tate. That's like having a nuclear bomb is what that's like. So listen, as he was talking, I was trying to keep up with everybody in the chat. Berta Baby, y'all gonna be surprised about this. I have never seen The Wire. So don't nobody drag me. I have never seen The Wire. I need to watch The Wire. I've never seen it because I've always worked and not had time. And when I'm, my quiet time, I listen to music. I'll listen to classical music. I'll listen to jazz. I'll listen to R&B. Look, not into really rap, but I'm telling you. Oh, Steph Love said me either. But I've never, Berta Baby, like, whoa. Yeah, Berta Baby. That's like I get a lot of people like, you ain't seen The Wire? No, I ain't seen The Wire, y'all. I have not. Um, Jeremy Story, what's your favorite piece? I like Joseph Haydn. I like Bach. Of course, I like Mozart. Um, I like classical music, but I'm really into, I like new artists that are emerging, like the artists who you see on, I don't have Instagram either, y'all, because my kids said that was too much for me to be doing. But I like the violin, those violinists that you see. I told you I played the flute. I was the last chair, but my daughter is a flutist and she really plays. She's a beautiful, she plays very well. Um, but I love music. Music is always playing in my house all day, all night. I love music. It helps me to it's the noise that I need in my head, because I know I've always dealt with so much that's been going on, but it helps to calm me. And that part I really, for me, it's music. When I taught school, I played classical music, and it really, the students grew to love the music when you plant the seeds young, and that's what I would do. So love is not abusive. So what this is Kiki's journey. Kiki has a GoFundMe. She needs help. And so I'm asking, I don't know how many people are left on it. There's 200 people. I'm asking that you could share this on your Instagram. You can share this on your social media. If you can give $5, $20, $100, it goes directly to her. She has never, ever, she's a quiet person. Each time she tried to do something great, like run for, put her to run for the Flint School Board, she was pulled down. Today, she faced one of the hardest days in her life, which was to stay together and have her composure to tell her story as she was cross-examined by his attorney, as she was asked questions by the prosecutors. As she stood or she sat in the room, she had to hold her head up high to walk down to focus that she understands she is fighting for her life. She is fighting for her life. She has told me, Miss Burns, I think he will kill me. I think he will kill me. I was never supposed to talk. I always went back, but I can't go back. I can't go back. She needs, if you can give $5, $10, $20, you can give more than that. But if you can share this on your page and ask people to share it on theirs, let's make this go viral. This though, I don't get any of it. It goes right to her. It's not my account. It goes to her account. Love is not abusive. Please support safe and secure housing. Support, she needs help with legal fees. She's got legal fees. He's got several attorneys, and he went to the highest firm in Flint and Genesee County, Manly and Manly. So let this go viral so she can have safe and secure housing. She's scared. She's scared to rest her head. Y'all heard the tape that it was in 2014. Her mother stated, Janae Jackson, he shot up her house. Let's do something so that we don't say, I'm sorry to hear what happened. So we don't say, we sorry, we wish you could have got to Princess, which I wish we could have. We can do something now for Kiki. She needs all of our help. Put this on your Instagram, please. Put this on your social media. Share it. Ask your friends. This goes directly to her. It goes directly to Kiki. She feels like she doesn't have support. She doesn't have attorneys. And I'm going to tell you, Manly probably told him what he's doing because he's facing a felony. $50,000. Then after today, they probably said we need another 25,000 because the police officer said, I saw blood, lacerations, and I saw marks on her neck. That was the police officer. Her story is true. She is fighting for her life. Your $5, your $10, your $25, your $100, your $500, your $1,000, she needs it. You heard even when Kevin Tate called in, she don't even have a car. He made sure her car wasn't running. She don't have transportation. She's getting help from anybody she can. And she's scared because people don't want their house shot up. She's been through this. Help her come out of it. She stated, and if you go to her page, or we're at a page where it states, she says, my name is Kiki Martin, and I am a survivor of domestic violence. On July 10th, 2025, I was assaulted and beaten by my child's father, Councilman Leon L. Alamine, who was an elected official on the Flint City Council. The Genesee County Prosecutor Office has charged him with a felony charge of assault with intent to do great bodily harm, less than murder by strangulation, and a misdemeanor charge of domestic violence. Today in court, as I prayed, the judge heard my prayers and bound the case over to a higher court. Please know I am afraid he's going to kill me, as he has stated he would before. I am asking for your help to please donate to my GoFundMe so I can locate to a safe and secure location and pay other associated legal fees. I have never had to ask for help, as I have always